Welcome to New Day Cleveland. I'm David Moss, and we are on the road. We're visiting one of the most charming little towns in, well, not just Ohio, we're talking about in the USA. And it's going to be square because we're in Medina on the square, a place that has great boutiques. It's got shops, it's got all kinds of great things, something for everyone. And so we're going to kick this thing off with a place that's going, well, from farm to closet. It's called the Alpaca Boutique.
We utilize our alpaca fiber to make product from baby blankets to scarves, hats, gloves, mittens, and we're basically a unique alpaca store. Alpaca fiber is warmer than sheep's wool, it's lighter than sheep's wool. A lot of people are allergic to sheep's wool. It's prickly. Alpaca fiber is not prickly, and it's softer. You can make baby blankets out of it, you can rub it up against your skin, and it's just all around natural, better for you. They're easy to care for, they're not aggressive. We had a baby at the time, and I knew I was going to have more kids, so we wanted to have an animal that wasn't going to be a danger to the kids.
So this is kind of part of the color combination here. You have white, light fawn, medium fawn, dark fawn, gray.
They're just very timid and gentle creatures, and we just fell in love with them to begin with. We have over 75 here on the farm. In this boutique, you're going to find men's, women's, and children's clothing. They're either made totally from alpaca or alpaca blend. Some of the coats we blend, we don't blend it personally, but they blend it with a different fabric. Like some of the jackets have wool in them, some will have cotton or another blend. The socks are great. They're probably our biggest seller. People come in and they want a sock that's healthier for their feet. Alpaca fiber is actually probably the healthiest for your feet. It's got a natural odor control. It wicks away the moisture, so if you're prone to sweaty feet, alpaca fiber actually wicks away the moisture. So they keep your feet warm, they keep you from dry, and they keep them smelling better. And because they are a blend, most of them are washable. The dryer balls are used, they're environmentally friendly, so they're 100% alpaca fiber, and they're used to replace dryer sheets. So dryer sheets are full of chemicals. You know, they say when you throw the nice smelling dryer sheets in the dryer, and then you can only use them once, it's because all the chemicals that were on the sheets are now on your clothes. So with dryer balls, you just put them in, it helps wick away the moisture, it helps with wrinkles, and you can throw out your dryer sheets. Some people still like a smell, so they'll put a few drops of essential oils on them, and they can use them for a couple years. These are nesting balls. We fill them full of our alpaca fiber after we're shearing each year, and then we hang them outside for the birds to pull the fiber out to use in nesting. We fill them for free for life, so if somebody comes here and they buy a nesting ball, it's filled with alpaca fiber, and then they can bring it back for life for free refills. We try to make this a whole family experience. They can visit the alpacas, they can go out and see the miniature donkeys, they have a good time while they're outside, and then they come inside and look at things that can be made from the actual animals. So once a year in the spring, we shear them, we process their fiber into yarn, and then the yarn is taken and made hats, gloves, scarves. So people like to see the alpaca, and then they come in and they go, wow, this is what happens with the fiber when they shear them.
The Alpaca Boutique is open 7 days a week, and you can find it on Abbeville Road. Okay, our next stop is, well, it's about a snack that I think everybody loves indeed, and it's a family-run business. It's Just Mike's Jerky.
Just Mike's Jerky is a beef jerky and snack manufacturer in Medina, Ohio. We produce products for companies all over the U.S., and we are actually getting ready to start sending some products into Canada. All of our products have no MSG, no nitrates. We do have some products that have no sugar added, which is a bonus for people with different health issues. My husband's family has been in the meat industry his whole life, and so it's just always been his passion. We started the beef jerky company in 2010 down in Lodi. We had 2,800 square feet down there, and now we're in the city of Medina. We've grown to 34,000 square feet. My husband is Mike. My plant manager is Mike. My floor supervisor is Mike. We have a lot of Mikes. We produce between 10 and 20,000 pounds a week. Our beef jerky is made from a very tender cut of meat, and so it isn't the kind of jerky that you're gonna tear into and have trouble eating it. People comment, and even have older people that come in and eat our beef jerky just because it's so nice and tender. We have a raw processing room, which is very cold. You know, it takes a tough person to work in there, and then those guys, I give them props every day because they work in 40 degrees. They cut the meat, they're going to grind it and form it and extrude it. They lay it on carts. In my pack room, that's a more ambient temperature. It's about 68 degrees in there, so they're not freezing like the poor guys in the raw room, but they weigh and package and cut the meat. The interesting thing is that you are standing in just an office space here. We weren't going to have a retail store, but we put jerky in the outside of the building and people wanted to come in. They wanted to buy our product. So we took an empty office and converted it into a retail store. We sell beef jerky and beef sticks. My top 5 flavors for beef jerky are regular, sweet and hot, barbecue, black pepper, and garlic. This is our garlic beef jerky, 3.2 ounce. It's got a rich garlic taste. It's not too garlicky. It's not gonna leave your significant other not wanting to kiss you after. With the sticks, I only do 6 flavors and they're all very popular. We have regular, hot, honey, jalapeno, cheddar cheese, and hot pepper cheese. This is a 4-ounce cheddar cheese beef stick. The cheddar cheese in it is so creamy. It tastes like the most delicious cheeseburger that you will ever have. You can see the cheese in there. This is my favorite product. The market dictates the flavors. It's what people come in and ask us for. You come in and tell me that you want something a little spicier, we made the intense heat. If they wanted something a little sweeter, we made the honey. So it really just is about when people walk in the store, what they want and what our customers are looking for. The best part is the growth and how excited and how many new customers we get on. Our employees are excited about it. We're able to provide more jobs in the community. Medina has been a great place for us to come to and then grow.
So if you'd like to order some of Just Mike's Jerky, you can go to their website, or if you want to visit their retail store, it's on Smith Road. They're open Monday through Friday. Okay, we're just getting started, so when we come back, we're going to go to the sweetest place in town. It's time for chocolate. Welcome back to Medina. It's our road trip in one of the most beautiful little charming areas of our state, and one of the sweetest little spots in Medina on the square. Just off the square is a place called Coco. Melissa, thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, so this is the sweetest place in town, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course it is. So I walked in a little bit. It's also, is it the smallest place?
Yes.
Yes.
It's 430 square feet.
So we can almost go wall to wall on this place like that.
Yes.
But for inch per inch, it's probably the tastiest place too.
It is cram-packed, yes.
Hey, I saw something right away when I walked in. It's a cooler sort of in the back. It says best hometown, it says Medina, but this is a case of things in there that look like little tiny cakes. What are those?
So we feature little desserts from a chocolatier here in Ohio. And so each week we feature a couple different ones. So this week we have red velvet and what's called Venus. So it's a chocolate mousse with some raspberry puree and a dark chocolate mousse. And then each week it just changes out.
So how do you figure out where to get the stuff? Because there's a lot of chocolate stores around, and I've been to a few of them, and I was upstairs, because there's an upstairs here too, and I saw something from a lady over in like the Lakewood area makes some chocolates.
Yes, we have Fierce Confections, so we carry some of her products. We have stuff from Valley City to Massillon to Columbus, all over Ohio.
Yeah, so they always talk about local source, right?
Yes, we do. And then we also carry products from New York to LA.
So what about the chocolate, like traditional boxes of chocolates? Like, can I come in here and buy like a pound of chocolates and put them in a little box for me?
Yes, you can. You can build your own box.
So these look pretty well too. What's going on here?
We're starting to get ready for Easter. So the Easter collections are starting to come in.
That must be a lot of fun because it's so seasonal. So you have to plan on Christmas, you have to plan on Easter.
Yes.
What's another big candy holiday?
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is another
Valentine's
good one.
Day.
How about Halloween?
Halloween is a big candy holiday. But yeah, every month there seems to be something going on. Sweetest Day, birthdays, anniversaries. So we've got to plan for it all.
Yeah. So if you had to say the personality of this place, what would you say the personality of this place is? Sweet?
Very sweet.
Creamy?
Yes, creamy,
Chocolate?
chocolatey. It's just a quaint little store that we get to feature some really cool chocolatiers from around the U.S., mostly Ohio. And there's something in here for everybody, from the kids all the way up to the I'm sorry gifts for the hubbies to their wives.
Oh, I need some of those.
We've got it all.
It's the tiniest, tastiest little shop in Medina. It's called Coco. And I tell you, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Thanks.
If you have a need for speed, this place is for you. It's high voltage karting for kids and adults.
High Voltage is an all-electric, high-speed, high adrenaline go-karting facility. We started as just an indoor track, which you see here, and last summer we added our outdoor extension, which more than doubles the size of our track. Our adult karts can reach speeds, capable of speeds up to 50 miles per hour. Usually on our track you're hitting about 35 tops, but they're a little bit faster than your average go-kart, and it's just a completely different experience than most people are used to. You know, you got to wear the helmet and everything, so it's really a more true racing experience, and that's, I think, kind of the best way to describe high voltage. When we started out, we didn't have any junior karts, we only had adult karts. So you were seeing, 13, 14 and up. Now that we've added the junior karts, that's kind of expanded a little bit. So we have younger kids, a lot more younger kids coming in now, birthday parties and things. So really a wide variety, men, women, kids, the whole thing. The difference is size and speed. The adult karts, like I mentioned, are the ones that are capable of 50 miles per hour. The junior karts aren't quite as fast. They're still quick, but they're a little bit easier to drive for the younger kids. And they do not race at the same time. So if you're a parent that's coming in with some younger kids, you don't have to worry about them being in with a bunch of adults. Around this time last year is when we opened our outdoor extension. And at the time, it was really what set us apart from a lot of other tracks like this. And it still kind of does, because what it did for us is it more than doubled the size of our track. It allowed us to, on those really nice summer days when you want to do something outside, you can still come here and do something outside. It's not just high voltage indoor karting at that point. You start your race inside, you go outside, you come back in. So that, for us, offered really unique experience for our customers that you can't get a lot of other places. We actually do a good number of corporate events and parties and things, but the corporate events are something that's really cool for us. It offers a really great team building experience. Obviously you have the competition of racing on the track. We offer catering, we have an event room where people will host meetings or birthday parties, and another really cool thing that we are literally just finishing up right now is what we call our pit stop challenge, where it allows a team of people to actually simulate a pit stop by changing tires on a real race car that we have over here. Most people that come here haven't really done anything like this before, so seeing people have a real racing experience, that's a really cool thing to witness, because not everybody gets to do that. It can be very expensive to own a race car, so you can come here, put on a real racing helmet, get in a race car, put on a real racing harness, and try it. So most people haven't done that, and that's really cool.
High voltage karting is on Foundry Street. When we come back, we're getting creative in Medina.
The more distressing you do to your wood, the darker it will kind of accept that.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland, our road trip to Medina, and I was thinking it's a nice way to start the day with something sweet, right? Well, I've got the place. It's called Circles on the Square.
Circles on the Square is a gourmet donut shop. We specialize in fresh, handcrafted donuts. You will never find a donut here that is frozen or that has been sitting all day. The longest donut that we will have maybe sitting could be quite maybe an hour. But other than that, they are very fresh and most of the times even warm. Our #1 seller is our Buckeye Donut, which is a fresh cake donut dipped in chocolate, covered in Reese's peanut butter chips, and then covered again with more peanut butter. And it is our #1 selling donut. Some really good selling donuts we have currently: our pumpkin pie donut, our pumpkin cheesecake donut, our apple pie donut. We're always changing our donuts on our menu, adding donuts, taking donuts off. We do have our core, but we are trying to keep it always fresh and new.
We make some dough up in the back. We pour it into our hopper, and then the machine pretty much does its thing. The plunger pushes out the dough, and it goes down what I call the donut lazy river. And when it's done, flips onto the other side and keeps frying. And at the end, it comes out all golden brown, tasty, warm, and delicious. So after our donuts come off the machine, we let them cool a little bit. They're very, very, very hot. You couldn't serve them that way. After they've cooled and we get an order in, then we can top them with glazes, sprinkles, cereal, M&Ms, bacon, French toast, cookie dough, chocolate chips, and apple pie even.
After we decorate our donuts, we put them in the box for our customers. Hot and fresh.
It's really everything for every palate. Whether you are looking for something fruity, something chocolatey, something light, or something gooey, we really have it all covered. Our ideas really come from evenings. Me and Melissa, my wife, will sit down and we will talk and discuss and research flavor combinations, and then we'll try them out. We'll come in and we'll try them, and when we find something we like, we go with it. We've even, for our employees, we've even run contests. For the holidays, we did who could come up with the best donut. The winner, they got a reward, and then we went live with the donut, and the donut was nicknamed after her. That donut was called Lauren's Pumpkin Patch. It had vanilla glaze, green sprinkles, and a pumpkin candy right in the middle. And so it truly looked like a pumpkin patch. We are located on the historic Medina Square. We open during the week at 7 a.m. And the hours differ on the days. Normally we close between 2 or 4 p.m. during the week. On the weekends, we are open from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
So it's pretty easy to find Circles on the Square. Just remember the name. It's on the square. Okay, now here's a place you get a chance to flex your muscles with a little DIY. It's called the Board and Brush.
Board and Brush is a DIY instructional workshop. You come in, you pick your sign ahead of time, and you create it from raw wood from start to finish. You know, with all the HGTV shows going on with the Chip and Joanna Gaines and the farmhouse chic, we show you how to do that rustic look to your wood. You actually need no artistic ability. You can come in and have never done anything like this before. It is instructional. We take you through each step. We show you how to get that rustic look with the hammer and the meat tenderizer. And we also, it's a stencil, so when you go to paint it, there's no freehand. There's over 60 paints to choose from, and there's over 200 signs in our gallery. So when you sign up, like I said, there is something for everybody when you sign up. If you've never done it, if you're not sure, we also have a punch card, so you get your 6th one for free because you do get the bug once you come in. You do get the bug to come back. No two pieces will look the same because when you come in and it's raw wood, you choose how to distress it as much or as little as you want. And you also choose the stain. You can do techniques on it to manipulate the way the stain looks. And then you can choose a different color. So you could have two people doing the same thing, but it would come out looking completely different. The vibe is a lot of fun, you know, because a lot of people come in and they're a little anxious because they've never done anything like that before, which I can definitely relate to. And they come in, we have the music going, and once they start, and because we do start with the hammer and the meat tenderizer, takes a little bit of the nerves out, and then they can realize that they can definitely do it. Well, a lot of times people come in if they're having a girls' night or a date night. We do fundraisers, we do team buildings, private events, kid parties. We just had a Girl Scout troop come in, and that was a lot of fun. And it was fun because they all chose something different, and they were just a great group. The skyline is very popular because we do offer many different skylines, but the Cleveland skyline is definitely popular. A lot of our newer things are popular. The trays are popular. Really is a mixed bag of nuts because there's just so many to choose from. If you're following our Facebook page, we always do a contest with the new releases that people can get involved in, and we always give away a free workshop. Well, if you're not sure what you want to do, everything is in a category online. So if you're thinking, I want to do something for my kitchen, the bar, the pool, everything has its own category, so it's very easy to navigate on our website. These are the bonus designs that we recently started offering. If you attend a workshop and you want to make 2 signs, it's an additional $15, and you can choose your stain and your paint while you're here, and you would go home with 2 signs. Definitely give us a try. It really will, it's an experience in itself, but you really will leave with something worthy of your walls.
Board and Brush is on Medina Road, and of course you can go to their website to check out different designs for your next project. Okay, still ahead, we've got classic meals with a modern twist.
It's got mandarin oranges, green onions, cucumbers, a little bit of tomato, and we'll drizzle that right on top.
Well, we've been very busy exploring the city of Medina, and I think it's, well, about time for lunch, right? Just the spot, it's called Diner 42.
The Diner 42 concept is a place for families to eat without having to refinance their house or going broke. All of our meals are home cooked, they're quality products, but even better yet is the price. $5.99 will get you our signature Italian beef sandwich with our Diner 42 juice sauce, and then your choice of fresh cut homemade fries, the Diner 42 soup of the day, Diner 42 chili, which is made fresh every day, or a side salad and a drink. We did a lot of research, a lot of trial and error. The slow roasted beef sandwich, that came to us through a suggestion of a friend. So we began to mimic it or replicate it after a Chicago beef sandwich. And then we had the juice sauce, added it all together, and it just gelled. The chili, what diner doesn't have chili? Every diner in America, you got chili and fresh soup of the day. So we developed our chili recipe, which is very tasty, but not over the top spicy or too sweet. It's a middle of the road, very tasteful, quality chili. And our soups, made fresh every day. We have your staples, we have your chicken noodle, your vegetable beef. We also have exotic soup, well, not so much exotic, but unique soups like our stuffed pepper soup, which is one of my favorites. Our salads, we incorporate our Medina salsa because that's the other thing about Diner 42. It is the home of the Medina Salsa Company. So as well as the other retail outlets, you can pick up your Medina salsa at the Diner 42. We're not fancy. You don't need reservations. We don't spend a lot on extras, but we give you quality food. That's where our focus is. We do take call-in orders. So if you want to call ahead, or you want to take your order to go, or if you want to just treat your office to a good quality lunch, call ahead and we'll have it ready for you.
Diner 42 is just a little over a mile south of Medina's historic square on Route 42. Okay, I think it's time for some gifts, right? For the home and the garden. Check out Gardeners Cottage.
Welcome to the Gardeners Cottage. We are a store that's very eclectic. We have many different categories: clothing, jewelry, accessories, scarves, fragrance for the home, fragrance for you, linens, books. It's just a great spot to find someone a special gift. I try to find the most unique looking, well-priced product that I can find out there. When we first started the shop, it was probably more garden themed, but over the years it's evolved, and you have to reinvent yourself to stay relevant to the retail community. Right now we're having great success with clothing, with jewelry. We carry a line called Simply Noel, which is well known and has been rated by the gift magazines as one of the top apparel lines in the country. And we carry several lines from the West Coast, which are more trendy, more sophisticated, maybe a little more sparkly, but we try to offer something for everybody. And then we try to accessorize everything. We have wonderful scarves, jewelry. The name of the line is Save the Girls. These bags, which are RFID, which means that your credit cards cannot be skimmed. It has that special protective lining, and you're able to perform all your cell phone functions from a little screen on the back side of the purse. It's a little bag that everyone should consider owning right now in this time of identity theft. We like to find vendors who do give back to a cause. So unique. Artfully displaying the product is one of my passions. I love working with the merchandise. Gail is my right-hand gal. She has just been a wonderful addition to our store. She can help you coordinate outfits and jewelry, and she knows the product well, and she provides excellent service. We are constantly changing our floor. We're constantly moving things around. We like to make it look different, as often as possible, so that when you do come in, and if you are a frequent shopper, you are going to see things this time that you didn't see last time. You can spend a full day out here between all the dining spots and all the shops, and I think each shop offers its own distinct variety of merchandise. There's no better place to be than downtown Medina.
The Gardeners Cottage is on South Court Street, and they're open 7 days a week. Okay, when we come back, it's the shop that's a whole heck of a lot more than your average bookstore. Welcome back. There's never a bad time to pick up a new book, right? Well, here in Medina, there's a boutique bookstore that's got new titles and a whole bunch of handmade goods.
The bookstore and the Handmade Marketplace, we are books and literature and art, really. We work with local artisans from around Ohio, some out of the state, but still handmade. And they do a lot of book-themed items, local items. We have a lot of Medina, some schools, colleges, and then the literature part, where we sell all new books. We're a general bookstore, and so we carry the new releases coming out as movies, the classics. Studies have shown that if you actually read a book, you're more likely to retain the information than if you're reading it off of a digital device. Actually, less than 1% of readers are digital readers, so we still have a huge population of people still reading books. And then it's knowledge. There's nothing better than that. So you cannot replace an actual book. When I went into the journey of opening a bookstore, I knew all bookstores have sideline items, but I didn't want your commercial sideline items. So we have mugs, which are one of our top sellers. They have everything from local things like colleges, quotes from books, images from local surroundings. So those are our top sellers. We have artwork for your home that ranges from just everyday things to book theme. We have candles, which are hugely popular, pillows. So basically, you should feel good and look good while you read. I think the charm is that it's not a standard bookstore. You're not coming in and there's just not shelves and rows of books. We kind of make it comfy and eclectic and just something fun for the kids to come in. They always feel like they're at home because our furniture feels like it's from home, and they have the kids area which they can just hang out in while the parents walk around and shop, and I think it's just the cozy feel of the bookstore. The furniture all has a story, so we have a chalkboard that's in the window that came from an old Cleveland schoolhouse and is surrounded in 100-year-old barnwood. A lot of our tables are from the 1900s, and they've come out of someone's home or they were redone with old barnwood. Our checkout counter was done with old barn doors and barnwood. We have bookshelves from old Cleveland schoolhouses. So just everything kind of had a story, which I thought was very fitting for it being a bookstore. I'm from Medina. I live in Medina. My kids go to school here, and we absolutely just love our community. And it took me 5 years to get a spot in the square. So I was kind of patient, but it took a long time, and we love this area so much, and the history here tells the stories. Find something new, browse. You will find books that you're not going to find other places, and we spend a lot of time going through lists, finding award-winning books that will just take you into a whole new realm.
You can visit the bookstore and Handmade Marketplace 7 days a week. Now our next stop is a place that's only open one weekend a month. It's called Stitches and Stowaways.
Stitches and Stowaways is a collection of handmade artists, handmade items from myself, as well as vintage furniture pieces that have been repurposed or rehabbed, and also little vintage items I've found along the way that need new homes. I started rehabbing furniture in 2013, and it just took off. I started doing it for friends and family, and then I ended up expanding and starting to buy old pieces of furniture and then rehabbing them and reselling them. I've always had a love for vintage, and I've always been a crafter. So handmade has always been a passion of mine. My grandmother taught me to knit and sew when I was a child, and I've carried that on. And to be able to incorporate all three of those things together is something that I've always dreamed of. People walk around the corner when they come in, and I don't think they anticipate what it is going to be. It's very eclectic. You're going to find everything from furniture pieces to that vintage item that reminds you of your childhood. We have several consigners. All the consigners are strictly handmade items. Some are local, some are from the Michigan area that I've met in my travels. All very high quality items. We are open one weekend a month, and we fill the barn with everything different every month. The barn is completely different every time. It's a new experience. You'll always find a new treasure that you didn't see last month. I have a love of Cleveland, so a lot of my signs and my handmade boxes, wood things are Cleveland themed. The best part is seeing people's reactions when they walk into the barn and seeing their reaction when they find that treasure. They're so excited to take it home and place it in their home and enjoy it again, and it doesn't go to a landfill.
Stitches and Stowaways is on Medina Road, and don't forget to follow her on Facebook to find out which weekend she's open. Only one weekend a month, remember? Okay, still to come, we've got some fun. What's brewing in Medina?
So this is our newest beer coming out of the fermenter. It's Feeling Dangerous. It is a New England style IPA.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. We're in Medina having a great road trip here, and you know, we've seen so many places, I'm starting to feel like I need a little something to drink maybe. How about a brew? Let's check out Loggerheads Brewery.
Loggerheads is a brewery located in Medina, just off the square. We're Medina's first brewery. We produce beers for here at the tap room and at the restaurant, and then we also deliver a wide variety of cans out to the shelves of stores as well. The tap room is basically where you're going to get the freshest beer. It's literally coming straight from our tanks into your glass. So this is our newest beer coming out of the fermenter. It's Feeling Dangerous. It is a New England style IPA that we'll be releasing in cans here very shortly. Also buy 6-packs. We have a pizza kitchen in the back. I'm the head brewer, so I'm basically responsible for all the beer that's produced, making sure it's up to quality, up to standard, making sure it's getting out on time to go out to stores, making sure our taps here are full and up at the restaurant as well. We do all different styles, whether it's more traditional German styles or the newer sort of American hazy IPAs. We kind of have a broad spectrum of all the beers. We do barrel-aged beers as well that sit in bourbon barrels for up to 2 years. We do low-percent Pilsners. We do your higher percent alcohol beers like Belgian-style quads. We started brewing at the restaurant, and then about 4 years ago, we actually had to move here to expand our production size. We've been growing steady every single year, which has been really good. The tap room has been a really good exposure for us into the city of Medina, because the restaurant is a few miles down the road, so it helps us kind of bring people in from a closer area. So you're literally sitting right in the brewery, which is a great experience. You get to really see what we're doing back there. You get to see all the tanks, which I know people love seeing when they go to breweries. You can ask us questions if we're out there working. Basically just get the whole deal of what's going on. You can see everything from that seating area out there. You get to smell all the nice flavors that are going on in the back. And maybe you'll get to chat with me or one of the other brewers if we're up here having a beer as well. You have a wide variety of options. We do flights, so you can choose 5 sample pours from anything that's up on the board there. So the first one we're going to pour is the 5-wire IPA. It's one of our staple beers that we produce all year round. 7%, nice and citrusy and juicy. Next I'm going to pull our bourbon barrel-aged Belgian quad. This was aged in bourbon barrels for 2 years, and it clocks in at a hefty 15%. The next one I'm going to pull is the Kiltamal. It's our Scottish ale. It's our winter seasonal. 5.9%, has a nice nutty, caramely flavor to it. Next I'm going to pour a oatmeal stout. Nice light notes of coffee and chocolate. Finally, I'm going to pull our Mexican lager, Diosa del Sol. We nicknamed it the Lagerona. Nice and light, easy drinking. I think we're just a staple in the community. You know, you get to see everyone come in, and people have gained friendships coming in here just from coming in here all the time, and it's just a really special place to relax and enjoy and have some fun.
Loggerheads Brewery is open Wednesday through Saturday, but you can always visit the smokehouse for lunch or dinner 7 days a week. I don't think we've been to the quilt shop, right? Well, let's head there right now. It's called Fabric Obsession.
All the fabric around here is really an obsession. People like to come in and feel it, touch it, see it, the colors in person, and people do get addicted where they come in all the time and always want to see what's new. My mom had a fabric store, and it was called Fabric Obsession. She had it for several years in Medina. Then she retired, and of course after she retired she kept wishing she still had one. So she kept saying, I want to have a fabric store again, and then finally I said, I'll do it with you. We moved here We were thrilled about this space. We had looked in the window because we were trying to find the perfect retail location. We looked in this window. We thought, oh, this looks nice. But as soon as we walked in and we saw this classroom, we knew this was the place. When you come here, you will find lots of inspiration, beautiful, beautiful quilts everywhere to see and admire and get you going and make you want to go home and make one yourself. Lots of fabrics. We have cotton, we have a lot of Moda, Robert Kaufman, Henry Glass, lots of books, patterns, a lot of pre-cuts. We have layer cakes, jelly rolls, everything sounds like dessert. Makes you want to eat it. But yes, we have a lot of samples where you can see things made, because that really helps people get a feel for the fabric. When you can see something completed, then you know what it's going to look like. We have classes, lots of classes. Woolly Wednesday, which is one of the most popular things we have here. Wednesday, I mean, the friendships that have developed are amazing because no one knew each other. We started getting together on Wednesdays in the classroom and doing wool projects. Everyone would sit back there, and then it just kind of grew into friendships, and people learn from each other. It's been really nice. I actually find it very therapeutic. The sound of the machine is like therapy. It's just, I don't know, it's very soothing. You start off and you have to, first you pick out your pattern. Then you're like, okay, what do I need for this? Then you have to pick out your fabric and all the coordinating fabric around it, the background, the binding, the backing, and then you're piecing it all together. After you cut everything out, you probably rearrange it 20 or 30 times. Thank goodness for phones, because you take a picture of it one way and then you move all your blocks around, you take another picture, and by the time you're done, you've changed it 10 times. But it's like seeing something from the beginning to the end, and then you sew it all together and you create it, and it's quite a process. Oh, once it's gone, it's gone. So that's the beauty of it. If people don't get enough and then they come back in a couple weeks, it could be all gone. And then it's like you're on a hunt to try and find it where you may not. So the designers are constantly changing their lines. So they'll come up with one line, and then when that's gone, it's gone. You can't get it anymore. So that's where it becomes tricky to keep your samples fresh, because you're going to have a quilt hanging up, and guess what? The fabric's gone. The relationships we've developed and the people that we've met are like family now. And it is, I mean, people, if they're having a bad day, they want to come here because it's their happy place. To come and just see the quilts, even just to touch the fabric, or just stand here at this cutting table, which also could be therapy for people. So it has many different uses, that's for sure, but it's awesome.
Fabric Obsession is just off the square, and they're closed on Sunday and Monday. And it's hard to believe, but that's going to do it for our road trip to beautiful Medina. The historic square, the lovely shops, great places to eat. I love the candy shop, and the bookstore ain't bad. A lot of fun to be had here indeed. Hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun. I'm David Moss, and I'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland.